If you have ever loved a cat, really loved one, this video is for you. Not for the people who think cats are just animals. Not for the people who have never understood why losing a cat feels like losing a member of the family. For you, the ones who know. There are things cats do in their final days and hours that most owners only understand after the fact. Things that, if you knew what they meant, would change completely how you spent that last time together.
This video is about those things. What cats actually do, what it means, and what it tells us about a bond that most people spend their whole lives underestimating. If you have already lost a cat, some of this may feel familiar, and I hope when it does, it brings you comfort rather than pain. Because what your cat did at the end, they did because of you, because of what you were to them. Stay with me.
The first thing most cat owners notice, before anything else, is the quiet. A cat that was vocal becomes still. A cat that demanded attention retreats. The meowing stops. The usual routines. The morning feed campaign. The laptop sit. The 3 a.m. sprint. They slow down. Then they stop. Most owners mistake this for the cat being tired, or under the weather, or simply having a quiet few days. It can take time to understand what the quiet actually means. Cats are instinctive about vulnerability. In the wild, a sick or dying animal that shows weakness becomes a target. So when a cat's body begins to fail, when they feel themselves slowing down, their oldest instincts tell them to go still, to conserve, to become invisible. This is not them pulling away from you. This is them doing what their biology has told them to do for millions of years. Protect yourself by becoming quiet. But here is what makes this heartbreaking and beautiful at the same time. Even as they go quiet, even as every instinct tells them to hide and be still, most cats do not hide from their person. They go quiet with you, near you. They find the spot closest to where you are, and they settle there, silently, just present. The wild instinct says, hide. The bond says, hide near them. Chapter 2. They stop eating. Food is everything to a cat. It drives their schedule, their behavior, their mood, their entire relationship with the world around them. When a cat stops eating, completely, consistently, over days, it is one of the clearest signals their body is giving. Not a stomach upset, not a food preference change, something deeper. The body is redirecting its energy. It no longer needs fuel for a future it is not planning for. For owners, this is often the moment the reality becomes impossible to ignore. You try every food they have ever loved. You warm it up. You hand feed them. You sit on the kitchen floor at midnight trying everything you can think of. And they look at you with full recognition, with complete awareness of who you are and what you are trying to do, and they simply cannot. This moment is one of the hardest things a cat owner ever faces, not because of the food, because of what it means. What helps in this moment, what veterinarians and animal behaviorists consistently recommend, is to stop focusing on the food and start focusing on the presence. Your cat does not need you to fix this. They cannot be fixed. What they need, what they are asking for by staying near you instead of hiding alone, is exactly what you are already capable of giving them. Just be there.
Chapter 3. They say goodbye in their own way. This is the chapter I want you to pay the most attention to, because this is the one that owners who have been through it talk about most. The thing they noticed at the time, but only understood afterward. The thing they wish someone had told them to look for. In the final days, sometimes the final hours, something changes in how a dying cat relates to their person. The withdrawal, the stillness, the quiet, it shifts, and what replaces it is something that is very difficult to describe, but instantly recognizable to anyone who has seen it. They look at you differently, not with need, not with pain, with something that owners consistently describe using the same words: peaceful, knowing, present, like the cat has arrived somewhere very still inside themselves and is looking out from that stillness directly at you.
Many cats in their final hours seek physical contact they may not have sought in years. A cat that was independent and preferred its own space will climb onto their person's lap. A cat that never slept in the bed will find their way there. A cat that rarely allowed touch will press their head against a hand and hold it there. This is not confusion. This is not random. This is a cat doing the only thing they know how to do with what they are feeling. They are coming back to the safest place they know, the place that has meant safety and warmth and being loved for their entire life. They are coming back to you one more time because you are where they want to be.
Some cats purr in the very end, When they can barely move, they purr. Not from contentment in the usual sense, from somewhere deeper, from the place where the purr was always about being safe, being held, being with the person who made the world feel okay. Pause. If your cat purrs at the very end, let that be the thing you remember, not what you lost, what you gave them. A life good enough that at the very last moment, their body reached for the feeling of being with you.
Chapter 4. They sometimes choose to go alone. This is the part of this video that I want to address very carefully, because it is the part that causes the most pain for owners afterward. Some cats, even deeply bonded cats, choose to go alone. You leave the room for 5 minutes. You go to get water. You step outside for air. And when you come back, they are gone. They passed in the minutes you were not there. For owners, this can feel like abandonment, like they failed, like their cat chose the one moment they were absent, and the guilt of that can stay for years. I want to tell you, as clearly and as directly as I can, that this is not what happened.
There is a theory, not proven, but held by many veterinarians and animal behaviorists who have spent decades with dying animals, that some cats actively wait for their person to leave, not to avoid them, not because the bond was less, but because dying in front of the person they love most is something their instincts resist with everything they have. The same instinct that made them go quiet, the same instinct that made them hide vulnerability. In the very last moment, that instinct can be stronger than the pull toward their person. There is a kind of grief that comes specifically from losing a cat that people who have not experienced it do not fully understand. It is not just missing the animal. It is missing the specific texture of a life that was built around them, the feeding schedule, the particular spot on the couch, the weight of them on your feet at night, the sound of them in the next room, the way the house had a rhythm when they were in it. When they go, the rhythm stops, and the silence that was charming and funny when they were alive becomes something else entirely. This grief is real, it is legitimate, and it is proportional to the bond, which means for many people, losing a cat is one of the most significant losses of their life. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise.
But here is the thing about what cats leave behind that I want you to sit with. They leave the shape of themselves in everything, in the worn spot on the couch arm, in the scratch marks on the doorframe, in the particular angle of the sunlight they always chased across the floor in the afternoon, in the habits you formed around them, that your body keeps performing even when there is no longer anyone to perform them for. You reach for the food bowl before you remember. You glance at their spot before you sit down. You wake up at the time they used to wake you. Those are not painful reminders. Those are the proof of how completely they were woven into your life, how fully they lived there, how real it was.
The quiet in the last days, the untouched food bowl, the final slow blink, the purr that comes from somewhere beyond comfort, the choice whether to go in your arms or to spare you that, made entirely out of love. None of it is easy to hold. None of it is supposed to be. But here is what I want you to take from this video. Not the grief, not the loss. This. Your cat spent their entire life telling you they loved you, in slow blinks and head bumps, and following you from room to room, and sleeping on your chest, and coming to you when they were scared. And at the very end, in the way they went quiet near you, in the way they came back to you, in the way they purred for you one last time, they were still saying it. They never stopped. You were loved completely by something that chose you every single day. And that, no matter what comes after, is something that does not go away. If this video made you think of a cat you have loved and lost, I would be honored if you shared their name in the comments. Just their name. That is enough. I read every single one. And if you still have your cat, go find them right now, wherever they are. Sit near them, just for a moment. See you in the next one.